Rule number 1 is you need to listen. Rule number 2 is you don't ever touch any of this without Daddy here. JJ, did you make this mess? What are you doing over there?
She's a cow.
Did you literally eat like a cow off the ground?
Very rare.
Yeah,
So this is one of the only places, not just in the US, but in the world, that has the combination. Oh, Jesus.
So what's up, fellow journeyers? Reservations in Florida. Now last year in the Airstream, some people thought we're crazy, said, oh, you're not making reservations for Florida, but in the Airstream at 30 feet, we could pull it off. We could wing it. But for this route, with this rig at 40 feet, we've reserved, before we even stepped foot in Florida, probably had like 70, maybe even 75% of our stuff reserved out. So there are 2 campgrounds in Everglades National Park. One of them is a little closer to civilization, about 30 minutes from Walmart and that kind of stuff. They still have a Verizon signal. They do have some first come, first serves here, which is what we snagged coming in. There are only 2 left, and that was for 1 night. We do have a reservation for Flamingo coming up, but we needed 1 night to fill. We couldn't get into Flamingo for 1 night, not even 1 night, which I'd heard beforehand, oh, it's not hard to get into the national park, you know, there's mosquitoes and it's hot and, you know, everybody, you know. We had a hard time getting in. We could only get 3 nights in Flamingo, we needed 4. So here we are at this campground we're going into for just 1 night. Just like, I'm filling the water, give me some water. We'll fill that thing almost as much as we can. We'll come back through when we get done and we'll dump over here. That is a pro, I guess, of getting 1 night. Other than that, it's all cons because I've got to like level out and set up and get the slides out. I would much rather stay longer periods of time with all the work that goes into setting this thing up. So it takes forever for this thing to fill the water tank. I probably won't even fill it all the way. I mean, it's, well, I got like an 85-gallon tank on this thing or something crazy. We've been filling the water for probably at least 10 minutes so far. And we've got, this is about the only gauge on here that still works. Okay, we're up to 1/3. Probably like, I don't know, 30 minutes at least to fill this thing up. It depends if somebody's coming in. Somebody comes in, I'll probably cut it short. But if not, happy wife, happy life. I'm gonna get as much water as I can. So that's probably one of the first things with reservations is you can't always believe what you read or what you hear. It varies from year to year. I will say this, like the pattern we've seen, every year it gets just a little bit busier. A little bit harder to get into campgrounds RVing. That's it, we're 5th year. Places that we would just stroll right into our first year. Literally, like, okay, so look, so the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta, our first year, you guys saw us, we're like, oh, look, hey, let's just stroll in here. We came in the opening day or whatever, the day before it opened or started. Like, oh, here's your site, sir. And we just drove over and got our site, and, you know, there were still open sites around us. And so this year we said, yeah, we might need this, let's get it. We got on there to reserve it. I think we reserved in the first maybe 30 minutes the Balloon Fiesta was available, which was like, I don't know, 10 months before the event actually took place. Sold out 3 hours. So it went from 4 or 5 years ago, just strolling up, getting the site, to being sold out within 3 hours, like 10 months in advance. Just nuts to think about. Like I said, I'm curious, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago here, I mean, would I be sitting here filling up with water for 1 night stay at this campground at the national park? Maybe, but during the week, by the way, too. I mean, we tried to time this during the week. We still couldn't find stuff during the week. Maybe, but probably not. So you never know what you read, if it's from 2017 or 2016, maybe really inaccurate. All right, somebody's coming. I'm gonna get out of here. How'd you even do that?
Well, I screwed it, of course.
Well, you gonna stay over there or you gonna help me with slides?
I'm gonna help you, don't worry.
All right, well, the slide buttons are over here. What are you doing, buddy? How'd you get over here? You guys are like a bunch of monkeys.
I get that from you.
Rule number 1 with the slides. You listen? Rule number 1 is you need to listen. Rule number, hey, buddy. You saying hi, Daddy?
Can I do this one?
Oh, rule number 2 is you don't ever touch any of this without Daddy here, okay?
Okay.
Right.
You're here.
I am, and I'm watching you. Don't pick off. Just don't only touch what Daddy says, okay? All right, we're gonna do
this one.
This one. Push it out. There you go. Keep holding it. While you're doing that, you're listening for funny noises. You're looking over here every once in a while to see if something's looking a little weird. Everything's looking pretty good. We're gonna do this one over here. This one's number, they make no sense whatsoever.
It's number 1?
No, that one's number 4. Yeah, I would, number 1 make way more sense. All right, push number 4. There you go. Good job. So what's it like to boondock in Long Pine Key Campground when it's 85 degrees? You didn't bring a generator. And although you can run your AC, when it's still insanely humid, partly cloudy, it gets a little hot at times. So this, oh, I gotta go wipe the sweat on my eyes. Hold on. So no, I didn't just take a shower. I just went for a run at 8 a.m. I made it 15 minutes. Now, you think that's funny? What's so funny about, you think it's funny for daddy to be sweating? Here goes mommy. She's doing it too. She's gonna show me up. You wanna be in this with me? Did you just say pick up the baby? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's starting to sweat. It only gets worse.
Yeah. It's pretty rough. It feels good to sweat though.
It does. If you want to sweat, this is your place. JJ, oh my goodness. And then he starts talking like crazy when the screen comes out. JJ, did you make this mess? JJ! We're ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's go, girl. You don't see our boat tour? Right there.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, so about a mile down the road from the campground area. We've got the marina. The visitor center's like over there. You can kind of see that fence where they're rebuilding and stuff like that. We've actually got 2 visitor centers. We've got another one's about 45 minutes away, close to the other campground, Long Pine Key. And then you've got this one down here in Flamingo. And they do have diesel down here because it's a little bit of a drive down. Food truck. We good?
We're good.
We good, bud? We in?
Here's your wristband. I can't.
We gonna ride in the front of the boat and get wet, or are we gonna get back in the? This one doesn't have. The other one had plastic all around the sides, and so like I knew I wouldn't be able to film or see anything. So we kind of took one for the team last time. Hopefully both engines.
If we make it at least halfway this time, then that's a win, right?
Check out this Osprey. He has made himself at home, man. Don't be in the poop zone. Can you tell where the poop zone's at? See the poop zone?
No.
Look it on the ground.
Put your...
Oh, cool. Check it out. Oh my goodness. Did you see him bring in the fish?
There was a fish. I see
Yeah,
him.
it had a fish in its talons. It was flying through here. I was trying to get it.
I see them eating, but I didn't see what they were
Yeah,
eating.
it just flew in some fresh fish.
A lot of manatees up the river, this canal. We'll just have to keep our eyes open and finding them. And early morning is usually pretty good time for the bird.
So 4 different reservation strategies we've used, or maybe we've seen used when it comes to Florida. Now this first one, actually the first 2 I guess, would apply probably more. We've seen like the larger RVs, 40 feet plus, use these strategies. The first one is like the season strategy. So just booking something a month at a time, 2 months, 3 months, maybe even 4 months, and just saying, look, we want to get to somewhere awesome, somewhere epic, somewhere we can relax. We want to go to the pool. We want to, you know, play tennis. We want to use the hot tub. We want to have, you know, maybe like they do group games and bingo night. Don't want to worry about making reservations over and over. We just basically want to kick back and relax. and we're okay with if it's mainly around one area. The seasonal strategy is great. Second one, still a lot of larger rigs. Thousand Trails Orlando was like this, is what I guess I would call the Thousand Trails strategy. And usually with the Thousand Trails strategy, it's people who have bought like these elite memberships or some of the, maybe the older, nicer reserve 90 days out or maybe even longer out reservations where they make a 2-week reservation, say at Thousand Trails Orlando, then a 2-week reservation at Peace River, and then a 2-week reservation maybe back at Thousand Trails Orlando, whatever. They've booked all this out, and they just go from Thousand Trails to Thousand Trails. So you've got this large yearly fee, but then pretty much the rest of the time you're staying in Florida virtually for nothing after you've paid that fee. Maybe you're seeing more than the seasonal RVer would, but you're not gonna see as much as like these last two strategies. The third strategy, it would be like the state park strategy, where like a year to the day, because most, if not all these state parks in Florida, you gotta do one of two things. Either you book it like a year in advance, like midnight or whatever it is, you know, or you're looking for a cancellation. So this strategy, and because you can only book 2 weeks at a time, a year to the day, or whenever they first open the reservations, immediately book out that 2 weeks and then do that every 2 weeks. Fourth strategy is when, I'll just call it wing it. You're basically, maybe it's a combination of all these things, or maybe you're just grabbing some private parks where you can. Like if you want to stay in a specific park for a week plus at a time in Florida during peak season, it's tough. It's tough down here, it really is. And so like with the Airstream, we were probably more of the wing it, I would say. You know, we would try to stay in national parks, state parks when we could. We'd find cancellations. We would sometimes stay in private parks. It was more about the destination. And we knew because we were 30 feet, we could fit in, we could grab stuff during the week if nothing else. But with the fifth wheel, we knew that same strategy wouldn't work as well. Probably like booking out 60%-ish, maybe even 70% of where we're gonna stay. Not way in advance, maybe just 1 or 2 months. But then filling in those gaps with the county parks like Kelly Park, or filling in those gaps with like Flamingo National Park. What did you think about the boat ride?
Good.
I love taking boat rides. Like, I mean, obviously we don't have a boat in this lifestyle. So
we could.
We've seen, I think that's really cool. I've seen people with their RVs with boats behind them here. Not saying it's not possible, but full timing with a boat might not be the best option. So I love anytime we can get out on the water. It's just a totally different experience. Or you could rent canoes here, which are really awesome. I think having a canoe would be a really cool way to get up close and personal. But just like with the kids, it was just easier to do the boat ride, and then, you know, if canoeing's not your thing, it's easy just to sit back and ride on the boat.
Yeah, I think in a world where JJ's not taking 2 naps a day, because I mean, you know, if we'd been a kayak or canoe and he's just like falling asleep or cranky or, so yeah, for us, but if I had to choose between the two and I was comfortable kayaking or canoeing, I would probably choose that over the boat. I don't know what those, you know what those cost?
I think I looked for it was like $30 for 2 hours or something.
Oh, so that's not,
It
okay.
wasn't bad.
So like the boat's usually $40 a person for adults and a little bit less for kids, but if you do the 9 o'clock,
The early bird special.
Well, it's early bird. 9 o'clock doesn't sound super early bird, but you gotta think it takes an hour for anybody who's not staying here. It takes an hour for anybody to get here. And so they're right. So the boat wasn't super crowded. The light's pretty good for video and photo. The animals are out more. It's not as hot. I think there's lots of good reasons. So if you're already staying in the campground, I think just do the early bird. So it's $28 instead of $40 is like the discount on it. So I think
I had a good time.
it was good. JJ is officially in full on moving all over the place mode here. Right, buddy? Yeah, you getting into stuff? And so another really cool thing about the Everglades, and that's part of it too, like, I mean, you're on a boat ride in the Everglades. I mean, I'm not saying you have to do it, but it's like you kind of have to do it. But like, or you have to get on the water somehow, I feel like. There's definitely a lot of cool trails walking around the water and stuff too, where you can see alligators and crocodiles. And you notice I said alligators and crocodiles. One of the things that's unique to this area is the mixture of salt water and fresh water. And so it's one of the only areas in the United States, maybe the only actually,
Even in the world.
maybe the world, where you've got like both. You've got like alligators and crocodiles in the same area.
Very rare.
Yeah,
So this is one of the only places, not just in the US, but in the world, that has the combination of alligators and crocodiles in the same place, because it does have the freshwater and the saltwater mix. So we even saw water that they call brackish today on our tour, where those mangrove trees put out this kind of acid, and it like turns the water like this black, brown, red color. And I had never seen that before. That was really neat.
Good stuff.
How's lunch?
It's good.
Salad is one of the easiest boondocking meals because I just keep chicken on hand all the time and just throw it on a salad. And I've discovered that they make cold brew tea, so you don't even have to, like, it makes iced tea and you don't even have to brew anything.
And that is one of the glorious things about the fifth wheel, is having the ice maker.
Having the ice maker, yeah. Oh, Jesus.
So packing up the Lee Flamingo, I think with the Airstream, we could do 1 week, 2 week, 3 weeks, you know, but we're learning some stuff with this fifth wheel. I mean, now we've got a better, as far as like the solar setup, as far as the amount of solar, we got almost 2,500 watts on the roof, and we still got the same number of batteries with 600 amp hours of lithium, but immediately, you see this behemoth behind me, immediately one and a half of those batteries are taken up for that, which is glorious.
Yeah,
like,
it's totally worth it.
So we got a residential fridge while we're out here. Like, it's been tougher for multiple reasons here. Well, 3 reasons probably. One is we're just out of boondocking shape. 2, even though the high's only been 80 to 85, like it's been, I mean, not surprisingly, it's been Everglades humid. I mean, like, so I'm gonna give it humid. So like, if you sit outside in the shade during the day and there's a breeze, you're okay. I mean, 85 degrees in the shade with a breeze, you're okay. But you come inside this RV, what do you think, like, instead of 85, it feels like 105. I mean, like, you are sweating. Within 5 minutes, you're drenched in sweat. Like,
yeah, it's
I'm
like
stripped down to my
heat box in here.
Like, and I'm just, you're drenched in the middle of the day. And at night, I mean, we just slept in sweat pretty much. So, I mean, it's just, there's just, so, and that kind of comes to like the 3rd problem or 4th or whatever I'm on, I don't know. So this fifth wheel, the Airstream, like, we had airflow coming from both sides. We had windows all around, airflow everywhere. It was great. This fifth wheel, I just didn't know. We didn't know. I mean, we knew we wanted more light, we wanted more windows, but most of your fifth wheels, when you buy them, they're gonna look a lot like this. You got, so windows on this side, and then like, no windows, no airflow, zilch on this side. Now they could have probably put a window here or a small one here, but they didn't.
It would be nice to have some sort of cross breeze.
Be awesome.
Or even if the windows just opened up a little more. Our windows only open like a crack.
Yeah, let's show them. So this window, this is the most breeze we get. Like, this one opens like this. This is the best window we have. This one and this one. Here's us opening our window for a cross breeze, or a breeze at all. And we're done. No, it's not stuck. That's it. Like, that's all we get. That's it. And the same one here, here, here. And so every single window in this RV, other than the 2 side windows I showed here, that's all they open. It's like, what do you, I mean, you're not gonna get a breeze from that. You're just not. I mean, how's the wind even gonna, how's the air even gonna come in? Like, and I bragged on a lot of things with open range, and we like, and I haven't looked at a lot of, honestly, like, who goes around opening windows? I don't know. I'm gonna pay more attention to windows probably when looking at RVs now, though. So, because if you plan on boondocking or dry camping and you can't get airflow, like, and it's a humid place, it could be rough. We're on to the Keys. You guys ready for the Keys? Yay! You ready for the Florida Keys? Hensley, you ready for the Florida Keys? What are you doing over there?
She's a cow.
Oh, wow, nice. All right, Cal, you ready? Did you literally eat like a cow off the ground? So what does it cost to RV in Florida peak season in the winter? Now this is Sunshine Key in the Florida Keys. I mean, super nice, crazy expensive. If we paid retail for this site, it would be around 165 bucks a night with tax for the standard site. We didn't we didn't pay that. So with the methods I talked about earlier, we went with a combination of Thousand Trails and then the state parks and then filling in the gaps of the county parks and stuff like that. So right off the bat, because we knew where we want to stay with Orlando and Miami and Florida Keys, We bought the Thousand Trails Pass, and then we added on the Trails Collection Pass. So those two together with tax, and this is what we paid. This can change from year to year. It's somewhere around $700 with tax and everything in there and all that. But that's a one-time fee and it applies to the year. And then we stayed 14 nights with that pass, 14 nights in Orlando, 7 nights in Miami, Everglades RV Resort, and then 7 nights in the Sunshine Key RV Resort. So instead of paying, I don't know, like $2,700 or whatever the retail would have been on that, we ended up, after the fees, I know I said one-time fee. Thousand Trails is so complicated. I don't know. You've got these premium resorts where it's still $20 extra per night, and it sounds terrible that they're tacking all this on, but still, even all that together, for 28 nights, we averaged $35 a night. Not bad, especially when you compare that to like $165 a night, or if you want the premium site in Sunshine Key, you're looking at $200 a night-ish with taxes and fees and all that stuff on there. And then so with our method of Thousand Trails, and then filling in the gaps with county parks and state parks and national parks, our overall average so far is looking like, because we've booked out most everything at this point, it's looking like it's going to be around the $35 a night mark for everything.
I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty nice.
It's a, and Everglades was a different kind of camping, but this is a 180. Like, this is as close maybe to vacation mode we get, like in a resort. So
maybe because we came from the Everglades to here and we had no hookups, it was hot, we had some bugs, and then like coming here has just made it like so much more exotic. I don't know.
So looking forward to checking this area out, looking forward to sharing with you guys. For now, we are going to call it a day. Continue to hang out here at Sunshine Key. We'll catch you guys later.